Hey everybody, what's up? We back. It's Tipping the Scales. I'm Shea Dawson.
I'm Tania Rivers. Welcome back, crew.
Well, I don't know, if you're not watching the YouTube right now, T looks fire. Like, she looks so gorgeous. Like, she got on this little orange peach shirt with her hair matching, looking like she just came off the beach.
Oh,
and I look like I just came off the beach well, but all good.
Stop it right now.
I threw on a hoodie. I couldn't
natural
find
beauty, boo. Okay.
Thanks, boo. I couldn't find what I wanted to wear for this anyway, but I am wearing my playoff shirt. Shout out Playoff Dating app. One of my besties. It's her app. So if you're an athlete, hop on that thing.
Playoff dating app. What is playoff? What app?
Dating app. It's for athletes to meet other athletes.
Oh, that's what I thought you said. I'm like playoff dating app. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. She created it. Yeah, back in the day when we were trying to date in LA, it was impossible, and trying to get someone who understood
what's her
our
name?
lifestyle.
Let's give her a little shout out.
Amanda McGrew.
Okay.
Amanda McGrew. She
I
also
see you trying to hook some folks up, Amanda.
And T, if you need an Airbnb, she has an Airbnb in Phoenix.
Okay.
It's called the Cactus House. So if you ever need that.
That sounds
Shout out
cute.
to the Cactus House.
That sounds really cute. The Cactus House.
This Cactus House, yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, look, I'm so excited. Every time we sit behind the mic, it's just a very natural and comfortable place to be. So I'm really excited, and I'm going to see how much technical issues I have. Well, first of all, I'm surprised you didn't call me out on my cord, but
I forgot actually.
Shoot. It's stuck. I'm not fixing it.
Yeah, don't even do it. They'll crop it out for you.
There's always some drama with T and her technical challenges, but I feel like we're at a good spot today. So let's see what happens.
We are at a good spot. You're at a good spot.
So are you ready for our conversation today? Because it's impacting a few people in my life. So I figured let's kind of talk about it and see if some other folks might be experiencing some negativity that's pulling them down.
I am ready. And I think that you always have the best topics. Like, if you guys need to know, like, T comes up with most of the topics because she's just very in tune. And like, every time she suggests one, I'm like, yes, that's it. Like, there's not even any going back and forth. I maybe add like one or two, but yes, I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Well, today we want to talk to you about like just bullying. And I know it just sounds so simplistic in nature, but there are so many different, I would say, versions of bullies, and they come in a lot of different shapes and sizes. Some of them are the workplace bully. Some of them are the cyber bully. Some of them are just the neighborhood bully. Some of them are the bullying that I know my nephew had experienced when he was in school. So there are so many different versions of a bully, but they exist, and it's just exhausting having to deal with one, for sure.
Yes. And I don't know, I can't say I've been bullied, but I know for a fact a number of times, and excuse my voice, I lost my voice talking, that I've saved many people from bullying situations, or shed light on situations that I gave a name to somebody and said, that's bullying.
Wow.
And yeah, like, sometimes people don't realize that they're being bullied. And that's why I say I don't know if I have been. I don't think I have. And I don't remember my younger years, but I think I've always been kind of intuitive. And sometimes bullies exist in shape or form of someone who's like a secret hater. Right?
A hater. Yeah, that's what I say too. I would say like bullying, another version of a bully is just a hater. At the end of the day, they're one and the same. Some more aggressive than others, but at the same time, if you are purposely trying to hurt another individual for no reason, like, something is seriously wrong with you, and you need to get a life and focus your energy on some positive things. Like, sometimes I feel like those folks who are so aggressively trying to come after someone, if you use that same rigor and that same attention to detail that you have trying to bring someone else down, you may be more successful in your life. Seriously. Yeah.
And like,
shape up, Buttercup.
Bullying is also so annoying because, for one, you're not even a true brave person. You're a coward. You know, you have to go through other means and other tactics.
Yeah.
You know?
Most bullies are cowards. I think in some form or fashion, maybe they were bullied or had something happen to them that makes them feel better to try to take advantage of someone else. And, you know, I'll give you an example of a good corporate bully. So,
a corporate bully.
Yeah,
Love that.
That's what I call it. Young professional called me the other day and just for some advice saying, you know, hey, T, have this person at work that's spreading lies about me, just not true. Basically trying to paint a picture of some version of me that just doesn't exist. It's just not who I am. And, you know, she was in tears when she called me. And I felt bad because, you know, of course, like I think without success, you know, when you are successful or when you are trying to climb either as the corporate ladder or some status in your life, you're going to get some folks who hate against you for whatever reason and may spread lies about you that are just not true. And I try to, you know, I told her, I said, look, I experience it myself and it doesn't feel good, but you know how you hear people say like, you got to have thick skin. I say you got to have a tough gut. Right. So it's just like I kind of like look at
the best, you know, tough gut.
Right. I look at the analogy of like a boxer, you know how like you get punched in the gut and you got to have such strong abs to be able to
tighten up. You got
to tighten up. I look at
that
as
practice
like,
those.
Right. Like I look at it as like, it's like a gut punch when folks come after you, especially when someone's spreading lies about you that's just not true. It just doesn't feel good.
And you're blindsided by it.
Right.
And you're just like, what the
like,
why they coming for me?
Like, what the?
Yeah, like,
you
really?
have nothing else better to do with your life. But what I told her, I said, look, you're going to continue to do great things. Get that gut ready. So the next time when someone comes to punch you, you're prepared and you can take it. Because the first punch is like, whoa, like, you know, almost like takes the air out of you. Yeah. And then the more you get punched, the more, you know, it never feels good, but you can really get those core muscles tight enough that you'll be able to stand the blow, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a good point too. It's like, you can kind of get ready. You can kind of tighten up the gut already as you're like seeing and surveying what's happening around. You know what I mean? Like, you can get ready for it. I would say the type of bullying I've seen too is like in the corporate world is, you know, power, trying to abuse power.
Yeah.
Right. Shitting on people's work, usurping, you know, the things that they've done, using it as your own. Talking down to a person, putting them in a box, keeping them in a box, and not letting them flourish because you feel threatened, you know, by their power or by their freeness or their ability to connect with people. Yeah. I've experienced those things, definitely. And now that I think about it, I have been bullied.
See that?
I have. And
listen, I know
when I start to say those words.
Yeah. Now, I experienced your bully. I was waiting for you. I'm like, I ain't going to tell her. She can come to this conclusion herself. But I just remember someone trying to hold you back and not let your light shine. I remember you having all these ideas and it's like, let's just try to keep a muzzle on her. Like, we don't have time for that. But
they wouldn't tell me where things were. I'd have to find out, you know, via, and obviously that's not bullying directly, but it's
a version of it though.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And, you know, I think we just have to spend a few minutes talking about that. Like, what I have a hard time understanding is because I don't know if it comes from fear from that person, not wanting a person to shine or trying to dim someone's light. I'm not sure where that negativity comes from.
I know.
Where does it come from?
It comes from insecurity. Insecurity, unfulfilled dreams.
Unfulfilled dreams.
Wishing they had skills or physical attributes that another person has.
Oh yeah. Or maybe even want to be like you. Like they see something in you that they wish they had for themselves. And the only way that they can try to take that all in is let me just try to hold that person back so I don't show the world what this person can do because it's really going to make me look bad because this person is better than me. And that's crazy. because I tell my team, like, I always want to hire people who are better than me in certain things because it's going to make us a better, well-rounded team. You know, like hire someone who has a skill set that you don't. So that way the team is better. And the moment that you start getting envy of the folks who report to you because you're afraid that they may surpass you, then you gotta look within yourself and be able to see that you have a bigger problem that don't come to HR because I can't help you. You need to go. You need to go talk to someone. Sit on the couch, get some advice. It never hurts.
Literally, I remember also like I was captain on the team, and more of like a vocal captain or whatever. But I always set the expectations of what to expect to try to avoid bullying type of situations. Like everybody do their part. If you got a problem, come talk to me. Always making sure to elevate people who I knew had kind of introverted personalities that might be potential to be bullied or be coerced or manipulated. And bullies know how to find those people, right? They know how to find them out. They know how to look for people who are secluded, who are insecure, who want to be liked by others and are willing to do anything. And so I always make sure, like, when I'm in a room and I know that I have a voice and I know that I'm confident enough, I make sure to try to give that away to other people just to let you know, if you try and fuck with that person, I'm coming for you, right? And so I think as somebody who is an advocate for people, those are the things that I try to do.
She's the nicest person in the world. So for her to say, like, I'll come for you, you should be very afraid because she doesn't really
mess with the people I love and I'll get real scary. Okay. I don't play around. And I don't have to show that side often. Like I said, I try to manage those expectations.
But every once in a while.
When I think about the people like I love, like my nieces and nephews, I get afraid because I get scared because cyberbullying, social media, right? They go through transitions where they lose their teeth or they got their little baby fat. And kids are mean, and people are mean.
People are mean.
I worry about those things.
Yeah, right? I know, like, if Mikkel doesn't have like the best game, then I'll get all types of people hitting me up like, your son sucks. And it's just like, it's ridiculous. It's like, fall back. But I
feel like I'm breathing hard as shit.
People do go out of their way to spread hate when they don't get the certain outcome. Or I love it when someone may bet that Mikkel takes a certain amount of points. And if he doesn't get those points, they're like, oh, tell your son, like, he screwed up my blah, blah, blah. He owes me money because I bet that he would, put up X amount of shots. It's like, well, you know what? You should have done that. Like, if you really know who Mikkel is, he plays to win. So he's going to do what's necessary to win. And it doesn't always reflect in points scored. So do your own damn homework before coming to hate with mama. Because you want to see me turn into a monster? Mess with my seed. And then
check his plus minus. That's how I always
all
say.
Gloves come off. Like, you can mess with me. And I have people who say little stupid shit about me that annoys me because they're just ignorant and they don't know any better, or they have an agenda and then they want to come after me. It's like, you could do whatever you want for me. I can take it. Like, I'm a big girl. And the essence of who I am will outshine any negative shit that you have to say about me. But you come from my seed, the gloves are off.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't come from my kid.
But the fact that that's the other part of Libras. That's the part that you don't want to tap into.
Right.
Like, we'll love you. We're positive.
Ride or die. That's who we are.
But if you mess with the people we love or you do some shady shit, you do not want to piss a Libra off.
Yeah.
Because we're going to tip the scale on that ass. That's for damn sure. I'm not playing.
Shay,
and the older I get.
Who are you today? I love it. You came ready and vulnerable and off the hook. I love it.
Well, one, I'm tired, so I don't have any filter right now. Okay. You know what I mean? I've been going like 10 days straight working. Hot heavy. Oh my gosh. And I'm just like, and the thing is too, is like, I watch, and we're talking about bullying, and I watch in a work environment, in an athlete focus, right? I'm at the 7-on-7 football tournament. You've got fans, like you said, right?
Yeah.
And so in this environment, there are all those kind of elements all the time.
Oh, yeah.
People who are watching other people trying to find the person that they're going to leech off of or
like they want to target someone.
Exactly.
Yep. Wow.
And so I think also I see all of that every day and I take it all in. But the fact that you're making me think about it now too, it's kind of got me fired up a little bit too, because I'm like, people actually out here are trying to target people and do some crazy stuff.
Shame. Yeah.
You know, in relationships, in the workplace.
Relationships too.
It just depends.
Like that came up too a lot when I was on the dating site on Hinge, and people would say, you know, maybe not use your name because you don't want people to want to date you for the wrong reasons. Like some folks may want to date you because you got a son in the league, or
so annoying.
It's just like, damn, like I can't even be myself now.
Yeah.
Days.
Right.
But I mean, you're right, Shea, that some people have an agenda. Some people are looking for what they call a target that they can use someone to get whatever they need, whether it be money, whether it be status, whether it be fame, whatever it is, they're out to get someone to try to help them would move forward in their lives and whatever that looks like for them, for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know the true definition of bullying. I never looked it up. But when I think about it, it's like gaining the advantage over a weaker person, or you know, doing something to put yourself in advantage over another person.
Yeah.
I don't know the real term, but I think that it's important to like try and think about what bullying looks like, right? And call it out. Yeah. Just in case some of our tippers are listening and don't realize, like I said, I just realized, damn shit, maybe I have been bullied in my life in corporate America. And maybe I'm just, you know, brushing it off because that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah. Or
I was just like giving it a definition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know, like, so for my nephew, I remember when he had a kid that was just bullying him in school, that would just say stuff to him to get upset, or if he had a book in his hand, smack the book out of his hand. You know, if he was eating his sandwich, knock the sandwich on the ground, and, you know, just constantly coming at him for no reason. And, you know, I don't want to promote violence, and I don't want my nephew to get in trouble in school. So I'm trying to say things like the right thing, like, okay, let's contact this kid's parents to have a conversation and say, okay, like, this has to stop. Like, this is impacting my nephew and his overall well-being. And, you know, pretty much get your kid together, or I'm gonna have to come up conversation. And, you know, let's kind of handle this the right way. And that didn't seem to work. And then my nephew ended up, you know, unfortunately fighting this kid, which was awful, because the kid came and knocked him out the chair when they were in the lunchroom, and then kicked him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's crazy. And then my nephew ended up fighting him, and it just wasn't great for the kid. And then now it's like a big deal. Like, you know, now you have 2 kids suspended, and I just feel like the schools could have did a better job. I know it's so hard. There's so many different students, but this was a pattern of this kid, you know, picking with him on a regular basis, that I got to a point where now it's a fight and they're suspended. It's like, that's just not okay. And I don't know if it's something that we can start talking to our children about at a very young age, about respect and about treating others the way they deserve to be treated, not trying to take advantage of someone. I wonder if these are conversations that as parents we should be having early on with our children, so we're not basically raising bullies to go to school and pick on other children.
Yeah. Yeah, you touched on a lot there. And I think especially when children, even adults, are going into microcosm environments, right? Where your competitive nature is constantly being tested, right? At work, trying to show your value, trying to make sure that people see you so that you can continually grow, get bonuses, get paid, all that, right?
Yeah.
Athletes, you know, fan approval, coach approval, peer approval.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're right about that. And anytime people are going into those environments, there needs to be that conversation, because you can't control what other people do.
Yeah.
All you can do is control what you can do. But that has to come from the training and from what you said, like talking to your child,
about
talking to people you care about and you love, and say, hey, remember, this isn't going to be easy, and you're about to go into a Lions dinner. You're about to go into a situation. You have to be ready, right? And I think about athletes I've worked with over the years in that kind of environment, when those flight or fight responses come from people who try to bully or bully. And it's like, in an athlete community, like if you read a lot or, you dress a certain way, you're considered an outcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes it's stuff that happens in the locker room that we all can't see.
Yeah.
So if you're younger, you don't really, they're not going to like boys aren't going to tell you that they're being bullied. Or boys aren't going to tell you that they're being made fun of. Or boys aren't going to tell you that someone keeps making comments about what they're doing, how they look, how they dress, all that. So that's why the training, like you said, has to come consistently. And it can't come like after the fact. It can't be reactionary.
Yeah.
It has to be constant reassurance. And same thing for employers as well. Like if you're a manager out there and you're managing people, to give your people reassurance helps to fight against that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so in that environment, so I had to like constantly lock in and ask athletes. And this is why it's important if you work with athletes that you actually care about them, because you have to ask them questions that don't pertain to the sport.
That's right.
How are you feeling today? Are you eating? When you're going home, what's your favorite part about this experience? What are the most, like you got to ask those questions, because when you ask those questions, you can read the expressions, how they change on their face. And you can say, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
And that's when you get them. Because sometimes when people ask you what's going on, don't you just go, right? And all your emotions come out and you can't hide it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to pull the things out of people in order to understand what's going on with them and what someone else is doing to them.
Yeah.
But if they have the training, then they'll be able to also articulate, this person is frustrating me. This person is saying this about me. And then that way you can combat it that way. So it takes a village, and it takes awareness, and it takes intentionality to kind of like build safe spaces for people.
Yeah. And I love where you're headed with this, Shea, because basically what you're saying is pay attention to the ones that you love, like, or even for you're saying the athletes, you work with them. But at the end of the day, what you're saying is, who your person is, whether it be someone you work with, a loved one, a family member, a significant other, who they are. And when some things are wrong with them that just they don't seem like themselves.
Or they don't want to talk about it.
Or they might not want to talk about it. Or my favorite thing, I think I said this before on a previous episode, when someone gives you that answer, how you doing? Fine. I said that fine stands for feelings inside not expressed. So when you get a fine, then you might want to just follow up a little bit more to say, okay, so fine. So tell me more. Like, how's your day? Like, start asking questions.
Yes.
So that you can get it out. Like, sometimes people need to talk it out. And I'm that way too. Like, sometimes I just don't want to, when something is really pressing on me, I try to put it somewhere else, because I don't really want to deal with, I got all the stresses of the everyday life weighing in on me, and I don't really want to talk about some things. So you'll get a fine from me sometimes. You get fine, and
and we even experienced that. I've texted you and say, because I try to manage that.
Wrong. Yeah,
but I'll say, you don't need to text me back.
Yeah, that's what you said.
But I love you, and I'm thinking about you, just to let you know. Like, I know you're going through something, and I know you don't want to talk about it, but I need to say something. And that's how you also manage expectation, because you have to understand how people operate, right?
That's right.
And then when you're not emotional about it, when you're not on this roller coaster,
bring it down.
Then you'll call me and we'll talk. And it's like, then we can have a two-way conversation versus it just being like an explosion of emotion.
Yeah. But you know what? It's just knowing that someone that you care and that you understand, or even if you don't understand, that you are supportive of me and you're acknowledging whatever it is I'm going through. Because when I was just having a tough time a few weeks ago, it was just felt like, and then I got that text from Shea, like, you don't even have to text me back. I love you. You're good. I got you. And that just went a long way. And that helped me open up like, Shay, you know what? I'm not okay, but I'm going to be okay. I just need a little bit of time. But,
boom.
Yeah. That's but just touching base and letting someone know that you care and that you have their back and that you're willing to do whatever it is to help them get to where they need to be. It goes a very long way. And it really helps that person kind of pull them out of the trenches for sure.
Amen. Yeah, no, definitely. And that just from learning you and, hearing you when you talk about other things that don't concern me. But also too, I would say, if you are feeling bullied or you have felt bullied or overpowered by someone, confide in someone.
Speak up.
Speak up, advocate for yourself. Yeah. Ask advice. You can use scenarios that are not yourself, which are also very telling. Hey, I have a friend, I need some advice. What would you say if this was your, you can do different things. But that's what I would say.
Yeah. And check in with your kids too. Like I know as adults, we may experience some version of bullying or AKA hating, but it's harder, because we have life experiences that help us get out of whatever it is that we're in. Like, don't forget to check in with the little ones to see how they're doing. And little ones, I still call my 6, 7, 25-year-old son a little one. But don't forget to check in with your children, right? And see, tap in. How are things going? What are some things that are challenging for you right now? And, let's talk about them so I can see how I can help you through those things. Just do your check-ins. Don't assume that someone's okay because they have a smile on their face because I'm great at that. I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh man.
Don't make assumptions based on appearance.
Yeah. I've been experiencing that a lot. I'd say I'm good at that too. And lately I've been like, no, I'm not okay actually. And then you find too that people they'll be like, oh, leave me alone. Like I really didn't want to know how you were.
Okay? No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. But I'll let you know when I am. Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah. So that's for your children. Now, listen too, like if you are someone and look, even your haters come listen to, want to know what you're doing and being involved. So if you're a hater and you're listening at the sound of Shea and T voice, stop it. Take your negative energy and do something else with it. I'm sure there's so much more in life that you can do besides purposely trying to bring someone else down or purposely trying to hurt someone just because you have an agenda. Once you peel back the onion and figure out what it really is that you need help with, get the help that you need, opposed to spreading lies and hatred on someone else just out of whatever it is that you're going through. So move on.
And if you are a person spreading lies, you need to, that is a sign that you need to get some help, some therapy. You need to talk to someone because it's not okay.
Yeah.
So
it's not okay.
I'll leave you with that.
And listen, you know what my mom said? This is an old school saying that what you do in the dark will always come to the light.
Yes.
And people will see you for who you truly are. So, and it's not good. So, you have a chance to do the right thing. Once you take the high road and focus your energy on something positive. And remember that, you may be a parent and you're trying to bring someone else down. What if someone took that same energy and rigor to bring down your child, bring down your spouse, bring down your family member? How would it feel? Like someone that you're hurting is someone's family member too. They're someone's loved one. So think about that. Think about if you took that same energy to hurt someone in your own family, then how would it feel? Just think about it.
Go ahead, Sister T. Go ahead.
And get your shit together, okay? Listen, guys.
And don't put up with that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Listen, we love you. We thank you for continuing to listen to Tipping the Scales. Please continue to follow us wherever you get your podcasts and reach out to us. We want to hear from you. This is a journey that we're on together, and we love being a part of your lives each and every week. So shout out to our tippers.
Don't forget to share. Let's give you a goal of like 5 people, right?
Okay.
So find your favorite podcast or the latest one, text a few people and say, hey, this podcast could probably help you.
Love that.
So we'd really appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Later, guys.